Well, that's interesting. Now, new research from the UK shows a certain amount of stress is good for you and may even extend your lifespan.
I'm going to live forever working with you. Forever. So how do you balance the good and the bad? I mean that in a nice way. It's good. Here to tell us more is stress management consultant Kate James from Total Balance. Good morning to you.
Okay. Good morning.
We all feel stressed out at times. What exactly is stress?
Stress is really just a response to an external event. So it could be an event that's a positive thing, but as you say, some stress is good for you. So it can be a positive or a negative external event that causes you to react in a certain way.
Okay, tell us about the good stress.
The good stress is something that motivates you. In fact, hunger and thirst are stresses, so they motivate us to actually do something about that and, you know, keep us alive.
Okay. What are some of the effects on our health if it does get out of hand?
Long-term stress can actually elevate blood pressure, and there's evidence now that it can increase the risk of heart disease. Most people would say that they feel tension, you know, in the shoulders and neck, which can lead to migraines, depression, anxiety, all of those emotional factors as well.
Sure. Okay, can we just get back to the good stress for a moment?
Yes.
Because you said hunger and thirst. Well, that's a given. But
They're
what other good stresses are there?
Stress actually motivates you to go to work and get things done, motivates you to do things like exercise. So there's that impact that you have from outside to get going, get motivated and actually, you know, create some activity in your life.
Okay, so don't look at it as stress, look at it as motivation. That's good. If I don't get out of bed, I won't have money to pay the mortgage. That's not mortgage stress. You should look at that as motivation.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful stress.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to stay in that good stress bit. We don't want to cross over to the bad stress bit. How do we manage it? What are the tips?
Well, look, it is difficult. It's easier said than done, and I think the first thing that we want to do is know what our priorities are and, you know, prioritising the things that will help you to maintain your stress levels, like exercise. That's one very good, very important factor. Having realistic expectations of yourself. A lot of us put ourselves under a lot of pressure. I mean, there's this idea that, I mean, particularly for women at the moment, you've got to be superwoman and be able to do it all. So really have realistic expectations of yourself. I mentioned exercise, and I can't stress that enough. Exercise is probably the best thing that you can do to reduce your stress levels. Learn something for relaxation, really important. So it might be just a guided meditation, it could be yoga, whatever works for you.
Yeah, tell us about this last one, Kate. Challenge your thinking. How?
Well, become aware of the way that you think that actually exacerbates your stress. So we have a tendency sometimes to have expectations that are unrealistic. So if we get into traffic and we think that the traffic's always going to flow smoothly and everyone's going to drive really well, our reaction when it doesn't work that way can be to feel stressed or agitated. If we have expectations that traffic is going to be potentially stressful, there are going to be hold-ups, then we can approach it in a more calm way.
All right. You get in the car and you go, there's going to be traffic.
Yeah,
There's going to be traffic.
on a bit of music.
It might be a bit stressful.
Okay, what are the danger signs? Tell us about the danger signs we need to look out for.
The first warning sign is probably a sense of not feeling focused and clear. Just noticing that you're not able to focus on the tasks, maybe not able to carry through the tasks. The next is difficulty sleeping, and that can happen quite quickly. So people will find that when they're stressed for a long period of time, that's that's an obvious sign.
Yeah.
Then generalised anxiety, that feeling of being anxious and feeling like you should be worried about something but not even knowing what you're worried about. So an overall sense of worry that continues for a long period of time, and later, of course, that can lead to depression. So it's important to try to nip it in the bud if you can.
We talk a lot about stress and, you know, now with our busy modern lives, but surely our parents and our grandparents had stress factors as well. They had mortgage and they had job security and insecurity.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I think, as one of the women said, we're on 24 hours a day at the moment, and I think that that's a real contributor to our stress. We've got mobile phones and voicemails and emails and all the things that they didn't have, so they were able to walk away from work and really leave it at work, and we have trouble creating those boundaries, I think, now.
You've given us something to think about, and next time you come in, what we won't do is have a big word stress up behind you, because that's stressing me out, just looking at that sign.
You need it more calming.
A little bit of blue, a little bit of whale music would help.
And during the infomercials, when I offer to give Kylie a neck rub and she tells me to bugger off, she should be more...
Very grateful for that, yeah.
Thank you for your time. Nice to
absolutely.
see you.
Thanks, great to talk to you.
All right.